Everybody please pay attention to Kim Taubenblatt. You don't see a difference from age 5 to 10 or from age 10 to 15. It's pretty clear. You see a 10-year-old relaxing a 5-year-old. You know, it's not a good thing. The same thing applies when you see somebody from 15 to 20 who's the same. 20 to 25, so on and so forth. This is what Noah Weinberg talks about in his 48 Ways to Wisdom. Making little changes. If you're the same from one year to the next, really from 1 minute to the next, 1 day to the next, if you're the same, it's not a good thing. This is what Jack Yaakov, Hanan ben David, who we're making a shloshim from today, this is what he was all about. Even at such a young age, he was already trying to make huge differences in his own life. From around the 5 years that I'd known him, around age 9 to age 13, he was a totally different person. Age 9, when I walked into that program in Brooklyn for the first time, and I saw him, he was the classic kid, classic, like, immature, fun kid, who everybody looked up to, everybody had a great time with. And as time went on, he grew and grew, and he started to take upon himself small things. Now, he wasn't religious, and some of those small things were maybe when he woke up in the morning, he would put a kippah on his head and say, "I'm proud to be a Jew," and put it down. So before he went to sleep, he would say, "Shema Yisrael," and then go to sleep. For him, these were huge. For us, they seem like everyday occurrences, or maybe not, depending who, but, you know, for him, these were huge things to make a difference in. One of the biggest things he did, however, was always trying to see the good in people. How, at such a young age, from around age 10 or 11, he made sure that no matter what, whether it be a friend who's in need or something, he was always there to try to help them. He used to have some friends who maybe were a little bit that they wanted to like hang on his back, because he was always the cool kid, this and that, so and the kids who wanted to learn from him and be like him, and it was hard for him to keep friends like that. But he pushed through, and he made it that these people felt appreciated, felt good as well. You know, he's really, now that this is happening, a lot of people say you don't know the good until it's gone. And in a way it's true. In a way we should all realize what good we do have. But he really affected the world. I got a call from somebody that I know, not too well, but his cousin, who I don't know at all, calls me up, who didn't know Jack at all either, and doesn't know myself or Jack, and he says he's affected by this as well. He's affected the world. But how is it that he affected the world? Not based on going out to the whole world. There's people, I've been talking to some people, like in some places where I've never even heard of, who have also been affected by it. But he didn't go there. How did he affect the world? He affected it by making these tiny changes in himself. Those small changes are really the biggest ones. You know, to work yourself up is not easy. But there's a great saying which Rabbi Adfeld told to us in his morning shiur. We do like quotes, but he said effort doesn't deplete a person, it completes them. To put effort in, you feel like you just lost something out of yourself. But it's not true. Really, you're pushing more into yourself. If you don't put the effort in, sometimes we need a small boost. Whether it be that there's no rain, whether it be that some tragedy happens, such as this one. But we need that boost. And when we don't get the small hints, then bigger hints have to come. And we have to take those. But is that what we want it to come to? We don't want to wait for those big hints to come and hit us to make changes. Each person's to their own. Everybody's put in their own situations to make the best of what they can with what they're put in. Some of us religious, some of us not religious. Whether you feel that your life is going well, whether not, each person needs to act to at least make a little change in their situation. Are you going to stay 15 at the age 20? 20 at 25? As kids, you like to look at life as it never ends. You like to see life and say, wow, look at life. It's right in front of me. I'm going to live forever. Then we see something like this happen, and reality has to be set in. We can't control when we die, but what we can control is while we're living. Life is short. There's so much to get done in so little time. Don't wait until you're 60 at the age 65 to try and find meaning in your life. Jack was a prime example of this, of what we should all strive to be. Even at that young age, when his cards were not placed all before him in this easy thing, he wasn't growing up fully with everything that he had. But even so, he pushed forth and made those tiny things which may seem insignificant to us. He made those tiny changes which brought him higher and higher. We have to do the same. We have to look at ourselves and say, in our situations, right now, don't look and say, what am I going to be in a few years? Save that. Save that for a while. But look at right now. What am I doing right now that's going to change? What is it doing to help me become better and to grow constantly? For some people, it might be delving into Torah a ton. For some people, it might be the way they eat a sandwich. It might be whether they wash or not. Everybody's different in their own ways. What can give them meaning to life? It's all dependent on them. But everybody can do something to change their life. Each person in their own way can. So, are we going to look at it and be 20 at 20, or are we still going to be 15? Are we going to take that change, step forward, make a change? You know, I can't make anybody do anything, but I want to try and borrow a technique from Rabbi Lawrence Kellerman. I'm going to close my eyes, and if anybody thinks that they're able to make a small change, if they're able to make any small, what may seem to some people as insignificant, but any change, if they're able to make that small change, whether it be washing before challah, whether it be making a bracha, anything, if you're able to, I'm going to ask that you please rise and just stand up for yourself and say, I can do this tiny little thing. I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm hoping that everybody can stand and make a small change. Thank you. I hope that with that small change that we make, along with the Siyum that I'll make now and that it should have a huge hashpah in our own lives as well as the lives of others, and reach out and touch the entire world just based on our own changes, and that his neshama should have an aliyah to the greatest, the highest of highest, and that we should see the Geulah of Meher B'Yameinu. Amen. This ties into the end of Horayot, actually, of making small changes, based on the fact that the last Mishnah tells us that it doesn't matter really who you are, but you can still have so much kedusha in your life just based on how good you become. Kohen kodem levi levi Yisrael Yisrael l'mamzer l'mamzer l'natin l'natin l'ger v'ger le'eved v'shofar. This is going down in levels of kedusha, as a Kohen is above a Levi above Yisrael, and so on and so forth. Matai, when is this true? Bizman shekulan shavin aval im haya mamzer talmid chacham Kohen gadol ama aretz mamzer talmid chacham kodem l'kohen gadol ama aretz. Even if this mamzer is such a Talmud Chacham, he is looked at as more Kedusha than a Kohen Gadol who is an Am Haaretz. Hadran alach sadran seder zikim v'hadran chalan. Datan alach seder zikim v'datan chalan. Lan mishay minach seder zikim v'lo mishay minam. La ba'alma heder v'la ba'alma date. Adna adonai Eloheinu v'divrei Toratcha v'finu v'fiyat am chaveit Yisrael v'niyah kula v'nachnu v'tetzayim v'tetzayim chaveit Yisrael. Kulani yodesh necha v'lam v'toratecha l'shma. ולבית תחתמני מצוותיך כלילות הילי, יהי ליבי תמים וחוקיך למען לא יבוש, לעולם לא אשכח פקודיך, כי בם חייתני, ברוך אתה אדוני רבנו חלקך, אמן 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 סלע ועד. מודים אנחנו לך בפניך אדוני אלוהינו ולאבותינו ששמת חלקנו מיושבי בית המקדש ולא מיושבי קרנות. שאנו משקיעים והם משקיעים, ואנו משקיעים לדברי תורה, והם משקיעים לדברי תורה, אנו עמד והם עמד, אנו עמד ומקבל שכר, והם עמד ואין המקבל שכר. אנו רצים והם רצים, אנו רצים לחי על המבא, והם רצים לבאר שחת. שנאמר ואת אלוהים תורידם לבאר שחת, עד שדמים ומרמה לא יחצו ימיהם ואני אפתח בך. יהי רצון פניך אדוני אלוהי, כשם שעזרתם לסיים סדר מזיקים כך תעזרני להתחיל סדרים וספרים אחרים ולסיימם ללמוד וללמד ולשמור ולעשות לקיים את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה ולזכות כל התנאים ותלמידי חכמים הנזכרים בסדר מזיקים תלמודי ולזרי שלא תלמוד שתעתור מפי ומפי זרי עד עולם. וכולם ויתלקך תנחה אותך וישפך תשמר עליך והקיצות היא תשיתך כי וירבו ימיך ויוסיפו לך שנות חיים אורך ימים במדינה ושמאלה עושר וכבוד. אדוני עוז בימו ייתן אדוני יברך שמו בשלום. יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה. עמדו לעתיד התחדתה ולחיה מתיה ולעסקה יעצור לחיה עולמה. ולמפני קרצה ירושלים ולשכלל היכלה בגבה. ולמקר פולחנה מערה ולאתר פולחנה דשמיא לאתרה. וימלך קודשא בריחו במלכותי ויקרא ויצמח בקרנה ויקרא בשליטה. וחי יכול ביומי חון וחי בכל בית ישראל בגדול בזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן. ויתברר ויתרמה ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי דקודשא בריחו. ואלה מקום ברכתה ושורייתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דמירה ויאמר ויאמרו אמן. על ישראל ורבן ועל תלמידיהם ועל כל תלמידיהם ועל כל מאן דעסקין דאורייתא דיבעתרי הדין ודי בכל אתר ואתר יהי לנו לכל שלמה רבה חינו וחסד ורחמים וחי ירוויחו מזונה ורוויחי ופרקנה מן קדם אבון בשמיא וערב ואמרו אמן. יהי שלום רב מן שמיא וחיים טוב עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן.